2025, the UX landscape has changed. Let's start with the obvious. We're seeing new tools, an increased emphasis on AI integration, and a more competitive job market.
If I were starting my UX journey in 2025, my approach would definitely reflect these shifts in the market. So I'll go over the 5 things that I would do differently to get started in UX design. Quick intro, my name is Stephanie. If you guys are new and this is the first time seeing my face, I'm a UX designer. Been doing it for, I'm rounding up to 3 years now. Transitioned from interior design to now UX design. Went through a boot camp. I'll touch on that a little bit later. And now I've been in my role for a bit now, and I feel like I can give you guys some tips on things that I would just do differently now that it's 2025. First thing I would do is to focus on the business impact. I did not do this in any of my past case studies and any of my portfolios. It was just more design process and nice images. I know bootcamp projects tend to be just made up imaginary, so to speak. So there's not exactly like KPIs tied to it. You could talk about what in your mind, the design choices that you made and how they could impact potential goals. Let's say you are doing some kind of e-commerce process and you simplified the checkout flow. That could lower the rate of high cart abandonment issues that this prospective company could be facing. So even if it's not a real company, there's still ways to tie it back to a measurable goal that impacts the business. Just think at the start of a bigger project, how does this design solve a real business problem? And I think you'll be good to go. Second would be to stay ahead with AI and automation tools. I know AI is the thing to talk about because every tool that you're using probably has some AI integration. Figma, Notion, obviously all the GPTs. So at this point, you just have to really embrace it. You want to use it to your benefit and use these AI features to speed up your workflows, help you generate design ideas, formulate good research questions. Just make sure that you're using it in a way that's helpful to you and not harmful and being scared of incorporating it at all, because AI is not going away. It's just going to get further along. So you want to make sure that you are using it to speed up your own process when you're creating your portfolio and your case studies. And also when you actually get into the field, that you are not afraid to use these skills. These tools are not here to replace you as a designer. They're just another asset in your tool belt. Speaking of AI, I did just want to shout out the sponsor of today's video, which is Springboard. As you guys know, that's the bootcamp that I did to become a UX designer. And I just had a very positive experience with them. And every now and then I just keep checking back to see where they're at with their curriculum, and they have integrated AI learning throughout their course just to make sure that you are maximizing AI to the best of its ability while you're learning UX design. They even have a whole segment dedicated to leveraging AI to create better user experiences. So if you're going to go the bootcamp route, which I highly recommend, Springboard is the way to go. They do a cohort just once a month. So to be in the next one, which starts February 10th, you have to get all of your paperwork and application process all done by February 5th. So the day that you guys are watching this, you probably have about a week. So if UX design is what you see for yourself in 2025, do not let this opportunity pass you by. Use the code StephanieM for $1,000 off this course and start your UX journey today. Okay, next would be to build a multidisciplinary skill set. What does that mean? So UX design isn't just about wireframes and prototypes. You have to think about where design fits in the whole product life cycle. Understanding product management, how this project even got on your door as a designer, what were the business decisions made to decide that this was the problem that we were solving. So that's kind of the before end of the design process before it gets to you. But then also think about the after. The design is complete, ready to go, you're ready for your dev handoff. How is that process going to work? Just having an understanding of HTML and CSS to better communicate to developers. So I'm not saying that you have to go out and, take a whole other course and be a developer, but just having a general basic level of understanding so you know what things are feasible when you're creating your design just kind of gives you a little bit of a leg up. Yeah, so explore some coding basics, understand product management frameworks, Agile, Scrum, these kinds of things. This kind of versatility just makes you a more valuable member of the team and just opens you up to more job opportunities. Networking with purpose. I know it's sometimes the bane of all of our existence, but networking with purpose. So in 2025, we're not just cold sending out connects on LinkedIn and just blast emailing people for jobs. That path might work, but I would not just rely on the one. I would join industry-specific communities, attend any webinars, and even reach out to professionals for informational interviews. Once I finished boot camp and I was in the job hunting process and I had a career coach through Springboard, I did an informational interview with a designer who worked for Tinder. And She was great, and at the time they weren't hiring for a designer, but she was just a really cool person to talk to. And we just built like a nice rapport. And when a job came through from Tinder, there was actually an opening for a junior designer. She sent it to me, said, use my referral link. I can make sure that, you get in front of the right people. And I did not get that job, but that's okay. But just even having that connection of talking to her, and she knew that I was like new and looking for something, was really just a genuine connection that we had made that can open doors that online applications can't. You know what I mean? So you have to put yourself out there a little bit. And I know sometimes this field attracts an introvert, and I call myself an ambivert, but if this is what you want, you're going to have to make yourself a little bit uncomfortable to get it. So network with purpose, be thoughtful and specific on how you reach it. Next, start branding yourself immediately. Okay. Start branding yourself as a designer right from the jump. Do not put aspiring UX designer, even if you are going throughout boot camp and you haven't finished your education, so to speak. Aspiring just kind of puts you down a notch when you're not. You want a polished LinkedIn profile, an engaging portfolio, and even sharing design insights on social platforms. LinkedIn obviously seems to be the one because it's the more professional one, but there's people that, hey, have YouTube channels like me, or I see their stuff on Instagram. I follow quite a few designers that always have something interesting to say on Instagram over there. Even TikTok. There's a girl that I follow on TikTok, and she just calls out all the bad UX she sees in like day-to-day life. And I love that page. You just want to tell a cohesive story about yourself. Wherever you appear on the internet, portfolio, LinkedIn, socials, it's all telling the same story. Maybe you're a bilingual designer, or maybe you come from a different country outside the US and this is kind of your perspective. Or maybe you were a chef before and now you're a UX designer and you're hyper-focused on improving front of house, back of house services in restaurants. You know what I mean? Like whatever it might be, you have a story, you have a brand, and just make sure that you embrace it. So those are the 5 things that I would do differently to get into UX design in 2025. It's all about being strategic, staying adaptable, and just the continuous learning. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, share. Sharing is also great if you feel like somebody in your life could benefit from this as well. Drop any comments or questions down below. Don't forget to check out Springboard, code Stephanie M. And with that, guys, I will see you in the next one.